Hello everyone, welcome to Satsang. For those who don't know, we use WhatsApp as a means of communication. You can send your questions to that number that appears on the screen and they will come directly to me. It's easier, it allows a more fluid communication. Let's make some silence first. Nothing and no one else exists. Only silence, emptiness. Okay. So, what is the purpose of life? What is the purpose of life? What is this body for? What is this world which is observed? And who am I? Is there a mission in life? Is there things that I need to do? Who am I? What are all these questions? And where do they take you? Who am I takes you to the source, to the origin, to the center. All these questions move you away from this center. What is the importance of this? Life as you see it, it's like a river flowing with fishes inside and lots of things happening. It is completely always moving and taking your attention with it. And these questions, those who are connected to the functions of the body, to the existence of the body-mind complex, they are the questions that keep you flowing on the river. Who am I? It is the question that brings you back to the source. As you ask the question, your attention moves. Usually there are those who ask the question and wait for the answer, or try to elaborate an answer by repeating certain concepts. But if you observe attentively enough, you will see, who am I? That attention moves to a point, to a place. Nothing to grab there, nothing to hold on to. It is a place. And everything else moves you apart from this place. Everything else, all impressions in that intimate space of perception, that place, when you close your eyes, when you abstract of everything, the inside of the river, it is there. All impressions, sensations, thoughts, feelings, all of this, moving, pulling your attention from that place of silence. Normally, you say, my body, my mind, my emotions, my soul, my feelings, my God. Everything is mine, not me, mine. So this is a clear indication that the knowing is there. And it is all the time being affirmed, even without noticing it. It is mine, not me. Me and mine is different, because there is in mine, there is the me and something which is possessed by this me, and it makes it mine. So this relationship, it is a relationship that exists with everything. So if the body is not me, but it is mine, I'm not the body. If the mind is not me, it is my mind, I am not the mind, and so on. And all these minds are that which is observed. The me, the I. Attention moves to that place. For the majority is very abstract. For some, it isn't so abstract at all. It depends if it is a familiar place or if it isn't, if you have been spending your time there or not.
So as this is not me, not mine, not me, but mine. So all these, everything which is concerned to the body-mind complex, it's not me, then it is not real. And the question is, it's not about the reality of the body-mind complex, of that which is connected to the body-mind complex. This is not the important part. But who am I? It is a way of seeing this. The importance lies on who am I. But if you're observing that which is connected to the body-mind complex, and by reasoning, it is not real, it is not me, then what is reality? And this brings you back again to this I. But knowing intellectually as a concept doesn't take you anywhere. And there's a lot of ways of putting the same thing. A lot of spiritual disciplines, philosophies, that in a way, in their own way, lead you to the same point, to this I. Some take a longer journey, others a shorter one. It doesn't depend on the philosophy, it depends on your preparedness. So everything at all times is impelling you to believe that you are the body-mind complex. It is the nature of what you experience as reality and as dream. It is impelling you constantly to believe that you are the body-mind complex, and that which the body-mind complex is experiencing, it is real, it is true, it is important. That you have to do this, you have to do that, you don't have time enough, you have to, you have to, you have to, you have to. There are some that have gone to a certain point of saying, okay, so nothing is real. So if I'm not the body, then spiritual disciplines that are connected to the body or the mind shouldn't be practiced. Because, well, if I'm not the body, not the mind, what is the point by doing these practices? I will just increase this belief that I'm the body-mind complex. True, fair enough. And at the same time, all other activities which are connected to the maintenance of the body-mind complex are maintained. And this also should be seen as the same affirmation that if I'm fighting for the survival of the body, for the maintenance of the body, for the comfort of the body, for the security of the body, then I am affirming in the same way that this body-mind complex is real, that I'm this, and everything surrounding this, as it presents itself, it is real also. Because if you just pick one, you're still trapped. And knowing as a mental concept makes no difference. That's not even the purpose. Knowing who you are, knowing truth, knowing, seeing, whatever the word you want to use it. That is the purpose. As this river of life is flowing intensely, with waterfalls and everything, with very strong currents that don't allow you to swim easily to the shore, and you get pulled, twisted, and impressed constantly. If you're unaware that there is something beyond the river, there is the source of the water, and that is normal for you, well, your time runs out and you continue with the same experiences. When you already know mentally, you have been able to understand, to see, to know, to whatever, have matured enough to get to this vision or wisdom that you're not the body mind. But still, you cling to this, only this side of the journey, that of this understanding that if I'm not the body mind complex, so spiritual disciplines connected to the body mind, they just reinforce this attachment, this notion that I'm the body mind, and you start observing the flowing through the water, whatever is happening in the water, the present moment inside the water, imagining that this present moment, the famous now, it is something which is connected, it is the present in relation to a past or to a future. It doesn't make much of a difference, you're still going through the water, not being able to get out from the river. And in the good days, it is okay. And if this was really, really a transcendence, a transcendent philosophy, attachment and suffering wouldn't be there. Because it's not real, no importance is given. So where is the room for attachment and for suffering? And sometimes the spring, it is long. And in the spring, nothing comes to counter your experience, to make it bad, and depending on this, on your situation, whatever that means, it can give you even a sensation that you're surfing on the top of the wave. But eventually, because it always comes, winter will come. And in winter, things are not like that. And in winter, you try to cling to those wisdoms that you have repeated so many times, even with vanity and intellectual superiority. But it makes no difference. It will not function in the way that it used to, that it was to mitigate suffering. It won't. It will be too intense. It won't be possible. And this is where spiritual disciplines are important, because there are different levels of reality. But let's focus on the vision that I'm not the body-mind complex, which is at a certain height already. And what does meditation means in this context? Does it mean that I'm affirming that I'm in the river and the river is real? Yes, in a way, but at the same time that there is a way out, a way to transcend it. So meditation, apart from the technique in itself, formal meditation, comparing it to the river, if it is with the correct mindset, it is a way of affirming clearly, I don't want to play anymore. I have no interest in the river whatsoever, in the fishes, in the water, in the sea, in the river plants, in whatever is happening there. I have no more interest. And this is where the me and mine start to create distance from one another. And as this distance increases, it becomes more easy to rest at the door, at the center, at this I consciousness. And if you sit quiet, firm, in an upright position, and you just stay steady without moving, you will see that immediately discomfort starts to arise. Before this, maybe lots of thoughts are coming. And as you persist in that position, the noise will increase to a level that there is this need to move, to go do something else. Something important appears. The seduction of lots of different things to do. Lots and lots and lots that will justify leaving that posture, stopping that. Everything of this nature will arise. And in this place, resting in this place, in this posture, going against that which seems natural, the current of the river, with everything that is there, in this moment, in this stillness, that's where you say, there's nothing to be done. I will not move from this place. I will remain here. At this first level, you are countering the grossest expressions of delusion, the guardians that keep you investing in the river. Pain will be there. Confusion, intensity will be there. This is the part that you're gaining distance from objects. Distance from objects. You have to do this or else. Fears are arising and saying, or else. You have to live there or else. This pain will be unbearable. This will happen. You will not have anything to eat. People will abandon you. All of these things. This closeness to the objects, the me, the mind. And the distancing, this is intense because it is grossest expression. As you conquer a certain distance from objects and you're still remaining there, quiet, not investing, then you will be able to turn attention to the me and remaining with the me. This is the most subtle part. And just remaining there. Nothing to be done, because nothing is real. I just rest here. In this place, for the one who seeks truth. Who am I? The path of wisdom, of jnana. It is the same thing as the devotee on his knees, holding on to God, leaving everything else, holding on to the holy feet of God. Same source, the same communion. A perfect and whole philosophy, divine philosophy, the map for truth, for enlightenment. It's like a big ball, perfect in all senses, that was crushed on the floor into 1,000 pieces. These 1,000 pieces are the different spiritual philosophies that combined give you the map. And this is why it is said that you have to be like this hummingbird that takes the nectar from every flower that it touches, only the nectar, nothing else. So all philosophies, they are not opposite. It is just in the understanding, in the limited understanding, that these philosophies are opposites, contradicting themselves, but they're not. So meditation can be part of your daily life, of the river. It can. But it can also be the continuous affirmation that I don't want anything else from the river anymore. And for those who are seeing meditation as the affirmation that I'm the body-mind complex, you have to see also all other investments that are being made into survival, maintenance, acceptance, relationships, and everything as the same. If these dependencies are there, and sometimes for some it is difficult to see if these dependencies are there according to circumstances in life, sometimes it is difficult. This is why testing is important. This is why life is full of tests. Because if you're not tested, you will not be able to see by yourself. And seeing by yourself is difficult Because for you to be able to see, you have to go beyond your personal limitations, because there are things you don't want to see. And for being able to see what you don't want to see, that's not an easy task, because you will justify, uh, you will cover those dark spots that don't fit right. And for not doing this, it takes a lot of work. So the most important part in meditation is with the posture and attitude that I don't want anything from this world anymore. It is the attitude of sitting, of not complying, not flowing with that river, resisting it until it forgets about me. It is sitting in silence first, and there is a struggle, because the mind and mine is agitation, noise. The me is silence, quietude. So to sit in silence, to remain in silence, there's an agitation, because the part of you, the mind, which is this combination, this fictitious combination with the I and the apparent objects, this will struggle. And as you persist in this silence, quietude, not flowing, not going, staying there, then you start to become silence, or noise starts to dissolve. More or less like gravity, for example. If you're in here in this planet, whatever that means, you're subjected to gravity. But eventually, there's no such force that binds you here, whatever that means. But to see this in person, to have this experience, you will have to get a rocket. This is how apparently they do it. And use very intense power, a force that will make you go through this layer that binds you to this gravity. And after you go through it, it's over. So meditation, correct posture, it's kind of this power, this rocket. But this is a different strength. It's not a force to go through something which is offering resistance. It is the power of stillness, of silence, that dissolves everything until there is nothing left but I. And only who am I is the important question. Not because of the answer, but where your attention moves to, all other questions, they are moving your attention away from the center, from the source. O sinal tá bom aí? Está no ar? If you experience difficulties with the signal, with internet, well, so observe if in any way you have been distracting yourself with wisdom. Yes, with wisdom. If you're looking at spiritual practices, meditation, as something to increase your delusion, but at the same time, if you're preserving the life of the body-mind complex, if attachments are there, dependencies are there, hopes are there, and investment continues. If this is going on, then you're just deluding yourself, using wisdom as a means to preserve your illusion. Just the notion. So, okay, so nothing is real. So, no spiritual practices, no meditation, no fighting delusion, and not going with it. This is not possible. It happens with worldly people all the time that they give up life, but still life is there. They continue, body-mind complex continues, because this transcendence power is missing. This intense silence is missing. Not that it is impossible. It is possible for certain few ones, but these ones already went through that stage. So if you're in that place, in that point of life, where you're seeing that nothing is real, nothing is important, and you're using wisdom in that way, well, after fact-checking, if you get to the conclusion that spiritual practices are stopped, they're not happening, but everything else is going on, and dependencies are there, everything is there. So maybe it is time for you to review and understand that wisdom is where you will arrive. And if delusion and wisdom is a journey, then wisdom is destination. Delusion is the origin of your journey. So you move from delusion with your eyes in wisdom. Mind has a lot of tricks. And for those who are involved with any worldly activity, whatever that means, meditation, the attitude as I have explained it. Because if you pick up meditation, people are meditating for a lot of things, to be happy, to be thinner, to be whatever. That is using the tool for freedom as a way to maintain you deluded. True. It is your attitude that counts. So next satsang I will talk about a little bit of the struggle to start meditation with this attitude. And then after it has started and is being maintained, then the obstacles and the difficulties that come with that. So if there's any questions about what I have said today, you can send now or some other day, doesn't matter. If there's no questions for today, there's a question here, but I will relate it to the next satsang, so I'll answer it into the next satsang. That will be Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning here, UTC -3. So I will sit in silence with all of you that are here. If you have any questions, you can send. I will receive it here and I will answer. If there's no questions, we'll sit together in silence until the end.
Okay. So next satsang will be Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning, our time. So for today, it is all. Much good.